It's an okay matchup. This is a very important matchup because TSM are 3-2. So if they lose, they're pretty much out of contention of making it to the major.
No major.
If they win, there's a possibility for tiebreakers, but it's still kind of unlikely. Whereas Nouns, they're in really good position. Obviously, they have a lot of good...
I don't think it's that unlikely. Quincy would just have to beat EG.
Yeah.
And then there's a tiebreaker between Nouns... Oh, no. If TSM wins this, then there's a tiebreaker between Nouns, EG, and TSM.
There could be a massive tiebreaker.
We'd have a trifecta.
Yes, trifecta, actually, I believe is what it's called. But Nouns, they obviously upset EG early on. They're 4-1. So if they win this, they're in very good position to go to the major potentially. But talk to me about these lineups, Jenkins, because we got some good ones. I haven't gotten to cast an Alchemist game in quite a while, so I'm actually extremely excited. A lot of people kind of not loving this hero, but position 1 for Tomato. And you got the Snapfire mid, which we've seen from time to time in the NA region, especially with Bryle playing that.
Yeah, a lot of strength heroes.
That's right. That's why I love this lineup. Gunner's going to be playing the mid Bristle. I mean, what's not to love?
I actually do feel like the mid Bristle, too. Bloodseeker Bristle late game, if you can get past the point where Alchemist has like 3 items ahead of you because he literally just gets more gold than you from killing creeps.
Yeah.
On even grounds in late game, like Nouns lineup, I think they're actually totally okay going late. It's basically like Alchemist. I mean, Snapfire is more of the actual carry going like super late game than an Alchemist is.
That's right.
Very American of you to belch in the mic.
Oh, I muted. I muted.
I heard your mute button's not working, I think. Is this working? No. Our mute buttons are not working. That's
oh, boy.
We just had pizza and pop. That's really bad.
We're in for a long cast here as Costa Rica is getting harassed. It'll make me cry.
Really bad. That's really bad.
Oh, it's really
very low HP.
Blood rice.
It's the power outage that happened today.
Yeah, that's
ladies
true.
And gentlemen, there's a big power outage where we are.
Sorry if we offended anybody with that. All right, let's get back on track. So, like you said, a lot of strength heroes. I mean, what does Alchemist go these days, Jenkins? Do they go for... It's a more fighting build, I assume.
Yeah,
right? We're not going to be seeing Ags.
Radiant, Blink, BKB. You just play for taking long fights, you know, slow damage. You eventually get an Ags, like between like your Radiance, like after your Radiance, BKB, Blink, you can definitely, if you think there's a really important Ags, you can like give it to somebody. I don't know if there's a really important one this game. Maybe the Chen Ags, though, to dispel the roar.
Concoction from Tomato, but he's just using it to retreat here. I mean, do you still, if you give an Ags to somebody after they've bought it, do they get the refund still? Or did they get rid of that?
I'm not sure. I think you... I don't know if you get a full refund.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right, well, maybe we'll see that. A lot of ifs with the old Alki. And it's Bryle getting chased by Gunner. He's going to have to use a cookie defensively, but he's continuing to get chased as Gunner creating a lot of space here. And you can see in terms of the CS, they're pretty much even. As Saberlight able to get out with that Timber Chain. But the toss back into the tower. Avalanche to keep him in play, so this could potentially be first blood. Husky pops the Fairy Fire along with the Wand, but it's not going to be enough. And Moon Meander claims first blood in this, again, very important best of 3 between these two teams in the NA region.
I still think the top lane is not going how you would like for a very late pick Timber to a bunch of strength heroes, right? The battery assault damage plus the pure damage of Bloodseeker. I've played this Timbersaw lane against Bloodseeker a lot, and it's one of those heroes where, like, if you pair it with a 5 that can actually kill the Timber, then Bloodseeker is a pretty good early counter to Timbersaw, just because, like, level 1, level 2, Timber's very weak, and that Bloodright, extremely strong ability at level 1.
I need to.
We need a barrier between us. I was trying to clear my throat. But this
Jenkins literally takes off his headset to belt.
I don't want you guys to hear me clearing my throat. I mean, it's a big match. A lot of Europeans watching this. You know, the North Americans, they don't mind if we're belching and clearing our throats into the mic. It's just the Europeans we don't want to offend out there.
Actually, the Americans are the ones that get most offended by stuff in general, so maybe not the best
That's true.
audience as well.
Not belching, though.
All right. Luckily, we haven't missed that much. Still only 1-0 for TSM so far as Gunnar. I mean, talk to me about this mid lane, though. I mean, Gunnar, we've seen him play. I mean, we've seen both of these guys play these respective heroes. Obviously, not the most common mid heroes in general, but how do they match up against each other specifically?
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, the matchup is... I think Bryle probably went into this thinking that it would go a lot better for him. I mean, he's not doing that bad. As we see some very awkward shenanigans happening over here with Dubu.
Yep, Z-Freak with
Gunnar.
some pathetic right clicks.
Quite pathetic. Gunnar was there, but didn't want to walk over. Yeah, I mean, it looks like, I don't know if Gunnar's just like outskilling him or what on the mid lane in this matchup, but he's doing very well. Quite ahead in the CS. The only reason that he's fallen a little behind in terms of the difference between them is he just went over to stack. So like Gunnar literally wasn't in the lane, and that's what allowed Bryle to catch up. But I would say, like, going into this, probably Bryle is thinking like, oh, I'm a Snapfire, just push the lane and then go like hit the easy camp, right? Probably do very well against Gunnar. But that zoning between the tier 1 and the tier 2, anytime you can pull that play off as a mid laner, you're just destroying the matchup. Like that is that's the dream for a mid laner, or arguably more than killing somebody because they lose a whole wave of XP.
Yep, Costa Bile doing quite well. There's the avalanche from Moon Meander, tossed back actually into the air so they can get a nice Mortimer's Kiss. It's a great combo from TSM. The very early rotation from Bryle.
They saw him. They've got a lane ward. Was this just placed by Husky? No, they saw him walk up there. I don't know if he smoked on Bryle or if Kostabile just thought like there wasn't enough damage to kill him. Because like there's multiple wards protecting the lane. Interesting.
Yep. Kostabile ends up TPing back, so actually some more TPing here as Saberlight and company are getting quite aggressive. The avalanche, this would be a huge kill again onto Kostabile, but creates enough space between himself and the enemy with this buff of his. Is he just going to chase down Bryle now, which of course the mid laner. So great turnaround from Nouns as they find Saberlight as well.
Dude, that is just like incredible heads up play from Nouns, knowing that Bryle is going to stick around and go for like the second gank, which only very good mid laners do that. So it's one of those things that like it's like not a 5-head play, it's like a 6-head play because they're expecting Bryle to make the 5-head play of sticking around instead of ganking and then immediately leaving, which is what most mid laners do.
As Moon Meander and company back into the mid lane. And I mean, when we get to the mid stage of the game, when we look at the Roshans of the world, since that is such a pivotal part of the game, like the first and second Rosh specifically. Yep, I'm just working that into the conversation. I mean, which team excuse me, do you like more for that?
They're both incredible for taking Roshan. I actually think Chen is one of the best Rosh takers in the patch currently, with how his Q has been buffed and all of the creeps are very strong. They've got Alchemist.
Hamato, he's getting chased. He already popped his wand. Is Z-Freak coming in with that leap? Axis from afar, but the TP is going to scare everybody off. And Moon Meander.
I don't know if they want to toss Gunnar back. Yeah, that's the one guy. Maybe not him.
He's a scary boy.
Yes,
doesn't quite have his Vanguard yet, but only 100 away from finishing it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And I mean, I assume it's going to be the Vanguard into Ags straight up, which is pretty much the cookie cutter.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's just such a powerful timing once you get that Ags. Like, not even because of the not even as much because of, you know, actually we say that, but maybe he will go for a BKB instead. I've seen a lot of people do that versus Timber Saws as Bristleback. But we'll see. At least it's Ags or BKB Ags. And that timing is like you do so much damage, right-click damage, because you're constantly spamming your QW, and so you walk into a fight with like plus 400 damage. It's incredibly strong.
The tier 1 tower taken out on the bot lane as Moo just chilling top for now. What power spikes are we looking for each side? Is there something specific, or is it more... I mean, they do have a Chen on their team, so I assume they're going to want to push at some point, at least pressure these towers.
Yeah, I think pressure's a better way of looking at it, because for TSM, their entire lineup, as is usual with an Alchemist lineup, is based on the Alch, right? When this hero gets a BKB, when he gets a Blink, when he gets the Radiance, on every one of those item timings, you ask the question, like, okay, this hero's obviously going to be the highest net worth in the game if the game is not going horribly for you. So, like, are we strong enough that this item makes us stronger than the enemy team? And a lot of the time, it's you try for a fight on the Radiance. If it works, you keep fighting. If it doesn't, you go back, you wait for the BKB. So every one of Alch's timings is what TSM is looking for. Everything else doesn't really matter as much.
Okay.
They're just kind of making space for him until those timings, and then grouping up with him on those timings.
You can see the smoke from Noun, so we'll see where they end up going with it. Obviously, Tomato's still farming away on the Radiance, like you said. Sitting on 2,600 gold right now, so probably 3-4 minutes away from full Radiance, I would assume.
Yep. Yeah, he's keeping up a pretty good pace. Gunner, as well, though, is on this mid lane Bristol. He's looking incredibly farmed. He's farming like a carry is, and this hero's been played a lot more as a carry these days, so it is one of those things going late where if you do hit that Radiance timing on Alchemist, it might not be enough.
Now we see the Rupture on Saberlight, who's just forced to TP. No stuns around, so he's going to be fine. Husky not quite level 6. Pretty close, though.
And Saberlight in this game, by the way, is going for a Yule's Rush build. So we have seen this. You and I have casted a couple of Timbersaw games, I think, where we see this, where the Timber doesn't have that great of a laning stage. You don't go for the hood. Instead, you just go for the literal full immunity of the Yules. It also lets you Yules and then hook yourself out of the cogs. You can escape the Bristleback that way. You can... Yule's the Beastmaster before he roars you, because that's very projected. Yule's yourself out of the Blood Rights. So it's one of those really low-cost items that makes it so that you go back to feeling like you can, sit in a lane and actually survive without just having a ton of effective HP.
Yeah, and like you said, as we're going to see Moonmeander get the Avatos. Hookshot not quite there, but the battery assault does cancel the TP. The Moon takes the tumble. But you can see the farm discrepancy between the two offlaners. The Beastmaster about 700 ahead right now. So like you said, not the greatest start for Saberlight.
With this Axis build everybody's doing on Beast, it really feels like he's just one of the quickest farmers in the game. Because you have Hawks and you have these creeps that nobody wants to run into the area that you're farming, and then you're just mowing it down with your axes, just farming multiple camps at once as Dubu.
Yep. Oh, that's not the greatest synergy between the Roar and the Rupture, but Dubu's almost certainly going to die here. There's still relatively low cooldowns on these ults, so it's not the end of the world by any means. And Gunner obviously has had that Vanguard now for a while. Looks like it will be that Aghanim Scepter next. And you were talking about it, but Beastmaster, the Ags as a second item past the Vlads.
Huh. Cool. So he's really all-inning on this. I mean, this is going to be a pretty incredible late game from Nouns if they do have Beastmaster pumping out that magic damage. I think the idea here is you have Bristle doing all this physical damage, you have Bloodseeker doing a lot of pure damage, and then Beastmaster, he's doing magical damage. He feels like they've already got enough physical damage that he doesn't need to go for this creep / aura build. And they're like, all right, you want to play this Alchemist into us? We're just going to farm on 3 cores. You're going to have 1 core that's strong, and we'll just beat you late game. And this is a perfectly effective strat versus Alch. So I think we're going to
see the initiation onto Beastmaster. Probably didn't need that ult from Bryle, but they'll find the value kill onto Moon nonetheless. And this is the timing with the Radiance being online now for Tomato, but obviously just using it to farm, and I would assume a BKB or... I mean, do you go Blink, I assume, with this build?
Yeah, Blink is nice. I mean, they don't really have much of another way of getting into the fights other than, just Timber chaining in awkwardly.
Yeah, Hookshot ends up missing, and TSM just going to try to retreat, but the goo is coming from Gunner. And Saberlight will find the distance. So Noun's not really able to find too much, although...
Gets all the Chen creeps. That feels bad. Poor Dubu.
He got the Kobold, though. That's a nice, juicy one. He's got that Pimp Cup ready to go.
Pimp Cup. Oh, the Kobold. Yeah, right. That's
Kobold.
right. That's right. What is the Kobold's aura now? That's not a... Is it the prospecting aura? No, he still has the speed aura.
Yeah, I think that the numbers might have changed, but
Oh!
I think it's the same, right?
He took the break creep, so they can break Gunner.
Oh, but how long is that break?
It's a 3-second break, dude. It's
Okay.
actually a decent break.
So it's on auto attack with 10-second cooldown. So
Yes.
it's a little difficult to get off.
Yeah, your little guy has to get the auto attack
He's going to find Saberlight, or the other way around, I should say, and looks like Moo is again going to drop. But Gunner wants to get some vengeance. Dubu. Nope. TP is going to be canceled thanks to the Thunderbolt from Z-Freak. Rupture coming out, though. And the typical counter to Bloodseeker, just TP away. I mean, they do have things to cancel the stun, obviously, as we've seen, but if Bloodseeker's alone, then not much he can do. And he's obviously not going to itemize anything weird to... I mean, I've seen Atos, I guess, but you don't really want to do that on a position 1 Bloodseeker.
I'd say like more Basher is up Bloodseeker's alley. It is weird on Nouns though, the disable that they have. It's not that great. It's like Lightning Bolt, Clockwork Hook in all of his abilities, which are all weird, or the Beastmaster Roar, which is an ultimate, and that can also be very projected and easy to dodge. So yeah, TSM they're playing really well around the fact that they know these disables are like, I can't think of a better word other than scuffed. Like these are just kind of scuffed disables. There's no Lion or Shadow Shaman or Tiny, something that's incredibly obvious. You just walk up and it's like you're stunned for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, you know. It's all like hard to hit skill shot stuff or low duration stuns for the most part.
Excuse me. We're going to have an unpause here now.
You have something really important to say. You're clearing your throat. So
no, just clearing my throat to clear my throat. Yep.
That's fair.
Mute button is having some issues. Moon Meander just pushing out the wave a bit as TSM does have a 2k net worth lead, but this is with an Alchemist, so I'm not sure what that actually ends up equating to, if I'm being honest. It might just be dead even, or maybe Nouns have a slight advantage. As there's the Thunder God's Wrath. Husky gets off the hook shot. He's going to get punished, though. They find that kill, and now the tier 1 tower for Nouns.
Poor Dubu. I feel like he's just getting constantly roared and hookshot and ulted, and he's always the guy that's been going down on all these little engagements. I mean, just secure Nouns the mid tower. Obviously, you'd much rather get a pick off on like a Timbersaw or Alchemist to start a fight. But
that's a lot. 2 ults for Mr. Dubu.
Yeah, I mean, the important thing about this is that it pushes TSM away from the mid tower. This is something that I saw OG do originally, or at least when I first noticed it. The way that they would wrap around towers to, even if they don't get a kill, they push the enemy team away from the tower so they can't defend it. TI8, I remember witnessing that for the first time, and that's kind of a very similar thing that Nouns just did there. It's a support kill, but it's what it accomplishes that's important.
Smoke into the enemy jungle. Nouns, they're going to be found, and it's going to be Husky to sacrifice himself in all likelihood. But the Blood Ray coming in. See if they try to turn this around with the Roar for Moon. The buyback coming out from Husky. Tomato already popped that ult, though, as Moon Meander. He's going to be the sacrifice this time for TSM. Hook shot.
Nice hook.
Nice job with that Cogs as well. It's going to pop the BKB on Tomato, though, as he does get ruptured, but it's going to concoct and just run away thanks to that health regen.
It does not look like he's ruptured right now. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That Chemical Rage.
I am looking forward to... did they get rid of the break creep? I want to see the cookie on the break creep to stun Bristle into the auto attack.
I think it's died. I think he...
Damn it.
Might have gone down.
Damn that creep.
Yeah, god damn it. Dubu.
And Roshan. Looks like Nouns are thinking about it. But... I mean, I guess the only thing you have to really worry about are Mortimer's Kisses. That's the big team fight for TSM in the pit. I guess Chakram as well. But you have to be pretty close to do that.
I get why Nouns is poking at Roche here. Like, they want to punish the Alchemist BKB, just knowing that the cooldown on this item is so long now. And the fact that it is kind of Tomato versus the world in this game for how it's panned out.
Yeah, it sure is.
So him not having the BKB is extremely impactful. And it looks like they're not really going to be able to capitalize off of it because he's got it up in 20 seconds now.
Yeah, and for Tomato, it's going to be an AC next. Bryle's big power spike. I mean, he's had this blink for a bit now, as we're going to see the hook shot. And that is going to lead to another kill into Dubu. Pops his mech, but Not enough to stay alive, and Saberlight looking for the trade, but he's going to get ruptured immediately. Tomato with the cover of the Mortimer's Kisses, a lot of damage coming out, and Gunnar forced to try to run away. He's already at half HP. Has to be careful here. That's the Aghanim Scepter now. As you can see, Saberlight really wants to follow in. Bloodright not quite there. But he's getting bursted from afar thanks to Zefrig's magic damage. Cookie not quite in range. Avalanche is there, though.
Oh, double
with the Chakram as well. The concoction onto 2 heroes and toss back in as well. But Moo gets off the roar and the Bloodright is coming. But the BKB already activated from Tomato. At the very least for Nouns, they will take out Saberlight. So a lot of trades. I'm not even sure who that favors in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was 2 for 2, right? Like Dubu goes down at the start of the fight and then Saberlight goes down. So I suppose that
Nouns favored them?
That probably favors Nouns. Yeah, you lose a 4 and a 5 for a 3 and a 5. If it leads to anything else, but I don't think TSM feels particularly comfortable doing anything right now because, like we talked about, the Alk BKB is down and Tomato is the god in this game for both teams. He is the raid boss.
Yeah, Moon Meander has his blink though, and the power spike for Bryle, because of this blink dagger, we're really getting full effect out of it until the shard came online, which is now. So the scatter blast will beat the shit out of people. That's the TLDR.
That's nice. I like that.
Oh.
It's like a scuffed version of the Harpy. He put on a high ground. He got that ward vision.
How did it get up there?
I think he put himself up there.
You can hurricane yourself?
You can hurricane yourself, yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, if you are the bird, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I guess that's
their,
the bird can hurricane their self because you're not. You can't play the bird.
Hook shot and Dubu tanking another gank. And Nouns just looking for a reason to go into the pit, and is that enough? It looks like Gunnar's gonna poke.
He's got a haste. He's feeling pretty confident right now.
Yeah. Still waiting on his BKB though. I can see 5 deaths for Dubu so far. He's tanked a lot of these smoke ganks. And this might just be uncontested, so Nouns getting an Aegis, likely on Gunnar.
By the way, Tsunami got his wish in that last fight.
Blood Rage?
Blood Rage was on the Zeus. Like they are respecting this Zeus damage. Let's see, and he has the shard. So yeah, doing lots of percentage damage. Actually, the second highest damage next to Gunnar, which just goes to show how powerful Zeus is as a hero in terms of that damage.
Yeah, and Moo, as you can see, just picked up his Aghanim Scepter, and then the power spike with that, obviously with the 0 cooldown, is the 15 talent, which he will almost certainly take. The Wild Axe is one.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, every time this build comes out, I'm always so curious to see how it goes, because it really fell off a cliff when they removed the bonus damage on it.
Yeah.
Because it meant that the stacking damage that you get from it is you know, significantly worse, because you were getting percentage based on that extra damage that you would get, and then more, and then more, and then more, and it would compound.
It feels like a really good game, though, because you have Bristle in front, you have Clockwork, who will end up being in front, and Bloodseekers just fighting in people's faces. So you just have this...
Man, they got Bryle.
Yeah, Bryle, hook shot. Gets off the cookie, though, as the battery. So you can see Husky has his shard as he's able to dodge out that spell from Bryle. The spell, the ultimate doom for him. And Nouns, I mean, again, this is an Alchemist game, so they're down 3K, but they are probably up 2 to 3K, I would say, at this point.
Yeah, they're feeling great. By the way, that was amazing Hawk placement from Moo. He sent a long-range Hawk over there, and that set up for Husky to hit that hook. Just having this idea, the presence of mind that they would be hiding in the trees and split pushing during this Aegis.
Yep, Concoction is going to be cast on himself.
Yeah, does have a DD. Yeah, DD. Sometimes it's hard to tell with the cosmetics in the game. So they're looking to use that.
Yep, and Nouns, they still have the Aegis, and we'll see what they're able to get out of it. They've gotten a couple kills as Dubu positioning himself to die first again, but the Hawk is taken out, so no vision for Nouns. Oh, but the toss back into the fray, into the Concoction as well. As they're going to try to beat down Gunnar. Again, this is just the Aegis. Oh, he's actually going to get away with just a sliver of HP. Very unfortunate for TSM, as now the Mortimer's Kisses is just going to be dodged by that BKB on Costa Bile.
I think Moo's dead.
Yeah, he's going to be the one that drops, but the hook shot in by Husky. Trying to buy a little bit of space. In the end, they still find that Beastmaster. I mean, that's pretty valuable that they did not lose that Aegis, because it still has 2.5 minutes before it expires. But they're immediately going to smoke up, so TSM might end up getting even more out of this.
Yeah, they're trying to chain this.
Yeah, but now they can see. Oh, they can find the courier though.
Oh, they see the courier's going to something. There's somebody in there.
And Z-Freak's dead. Courier literally got him killed.
It did, and the courier survived.
Yeah, well, that's how it
asshole.
goes sometimes. I wish my pets would out-survive me.
Would you?
But that means I'm dying in the next, like, 8 years. So.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, probably bad. The tier 2 tower looks to be... Huh? Okay.
This sack of shit right there.
Yeah, that's an annoying looking
You
courier.
killed your owner. Animals are supposed to...
I mean, it looks like a troll, so...
Yeah.
It's fitting.
Looks like a tadpole. Tadpole.
No, it looks like that. I can't remember the name of this animal.
Sperm?
Yep, that's it. You're a living sperm.
Oh, thank
So
you.
I've been told.
We all are, technically.
Yep. That's right. So 5K lead for TSM, but again, pretty misleading, as this is, as Syndrome say, an Alchemist game. But speaking of Alchemist, Tomato does have the Assault now, and has enough for the Blink Dagger as well. As Moon Meander, he ended up dodging a couple spells here and he's going to TP to safety. So we're going to see the Berserk Potion pretty soon as well from Tomato after this Blink. And I mean, I assume the main reason for that is just it's essentially like a way to ult when your ult is down. Is that the best way to look at it?
That's true. You can use it during the ult too, and I think you could probably just straight up run through the rupture and be fine. Like whatever level the rupture is, you're gonna heal through it, as it does give you a lot of regen. Regen, attack speed, move speed, and a soft dispel.
Yep.
So what can he dispel this game?
Bloodright, the Axe's debuff, right?
Yeah.
Goose stacks,
Yeah.
quill stacks. It's actually pretty valuable.
I don't know if is Goose Stacks hard to spell?
There's no way.
No, it's weak to spell. Okay.
Hard to spell would be crazy.
That would be crazy, yeah. But now you cannot dispel the quill spray though, so that's
Okay.
one thing.
That's crazy.
It's really not that crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
That's not that. It's just pretty normal.
Wonder if he's gonna go for the hairball. That gets those stacks up real quick.
Yeah,
looks like he is.
You gotta go for it. I mean, it gives you like a long range nuke. It's really just the range of it.
I have a feeling this is gonna be a really late game, which is good because we got the throat clearing out of the way. Now I feel like I'm normal again.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Until we eat after this game, and then we'll be clearing our throat for game 2, of course.
We gotta get this fixed. We really gotta get this fixed. Thank God we're casting NA, so people expect this sort of horseshit from us. You know. No, I agree with you. I feel like this is going to go really late. Both teams, they've been very good at dodging smoke ganks. Like, confident in their late game timing says, oh, man.
Yeah, Roar. Feels like we're seeing this a lot more these days, where a hero that has no escape mechanism, because back in the day, it would feel like it would be a hero that could get away. But they just split push, and they kind of know they're probably going to die, but it's still worth it to push the wave so that the team with the advantage can't really go any further in that.
For sure. Kills are just not that important these days, and especially when you're a position 4 tiny, and really all you want to do with your hero is have your Q and your W maxed out. You don't need any more levels than that. So his respawn timer is very quick. Chen would be very similar. You don't really need that many levels on these heroes.
That is an interesting item, by the way. Mindbreaker on Snapfire. Once you get to this 20 talent, Little Shredder uses your attack damage. Obviously, the silence is great, but the extra 25 magic attack damage applies to each. Each proc of Little Shredder. It's similar to the Pango Q.
So it doesn't work until the talent because it's attack bonus damage.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like a proc. It is just straight up bonus magic damage on attack, which is a different thing.
Right. So right now it doesn't do that much. It doesn't
do anything. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
But he's holding on to it until that 20 talent, and telling you that thing starts to take off really quickly. And that's the thing. TS, it's an interesting lineup because Alchemist obviously just wants to farm a good majority of the game, but they have a backup carry in the Snapfire.
They do.
Once he gets 25, like you said earlier, is absolutely crazy.
Honestly, Snapfire becomes the carry over the Alch, and I think the same thing goes for Nouns. They have Bloodseeker and also Bristleback. So
smoke up from TSM. You can see the Radiance is off just in case they have vision because of the Boars and the Hawks. Very smart play from Tomato. But you can see Nouns expecting it. It looks like they had vision there in that ward, so...
And
good play from both sides.
Yeah, both sides are super evasive, like not wanting the other one to get the jump. And Nouns, they drew for the full wraparound, but they
Jetpack Husky looking for the hook shot. He'll find it. He actually stuns 2 heroes. Saberlight completely segregated from the rest of his team. He gets stunned in the middle of the timber chain. But the Mortimer's Kisses coming in from way long range. You can see Tomato beating the crap out of everybody. 2 kills for him already. Moon Meander looks like he's going to be the first to fall. That's actually 3 dead for TSM. Triple kill on Gunner as Bryle and Gunner going head to head. Tomato getting the better of it. Rampage, my boy, Alchemist, he's very excited. He just slapped hard.
Well, we thought this was going to go late game. It looks like probably not.
Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think Moo... So, I don't know if that was intentional from Husky, but that's actually a pretty nice hook to hit the healer in the back and try to take him out as early as possible. Unfortunately, nobody else can help him with that. They're just focusing on Saberlight. I think Bryle, that was like every single one of those kisses hit like 2 or 3 heroes.
That cookie.
And then the cookie, and the whole time Tomato is just beating ass. It felt like Tomato was completely ignored for that entire fight, and he just got to do whatever he wanted. I think Moo is he's probably regretting this Ags pickup and not going for a BKB instead. Because the fights are not going on as long as I would expect, given that there's an Alchemist, Timbersaw, Bristleback on both sides. Like, a lot of these heroes want to play long fights, but the kisses, this is burst damage. The Alk at this point with the AC, the Blink, the Silver Edge, he's doing burst damage. Like, heroes are actually getting bursted down fast enough that the Beast Ags is having 0 impact in these fights.
Yeah, and we talked about how in theory it's actually really good this game, but in practice so far hasn't really had too big of an effect as Moon Meander getting caught out. But, I mean, going back to that fight, because I feel like that's the fight that we're going to... Oh, I have to hold that thought, as looks like TSM are going to get the favorable trade, position 4 for 3. As Saberlight's not going to... Yeah, he actually finds the Yule Scepter, with the Bloodright coming in to try to force the rest of TSM back. Mortimer's Kisses, but the Jetpack should get him away safely for Husky. But the initiation from Husky was really good, like you said, but the counter initiation from Tomato in that fight with the Blink concoction onto 2.
Onto 2, you're right.
Just won the fight for them.
And I think with Husky, I'm pretty sure he was going for the target right in front, because if they can burst one guy right at the start, and it's a 5v4, I think the fight is great for them. It's the fact that he went on Dubu, and Dubu got all of his stuff off anyway, because there was nobody to do any follow-up damage, because honestly, I almost feel like Husky would rather have missed that hook. It's one of those hooks that looked really good because it hit 2 targets, and he hit a backliner, but nobody was able to help him kill that backliner. So if you hook a Chen and he gets all of his heals off, who gives a shit, right? If you're Duba, you're like, all right, you just let my Alk hit a 2-man stun on your backlines, because you guys are separating yourself, and you're giving away your position to jump me in the backline. Yeah,
that's definitely true.
So it was a weird sort of engagement. Definitely not what Nouns was expecting. And TSM's like, oh, all right, we'll take that.
And now Bryle with the Shadow Blade, so he can start going for the Silver Edge crit.
Yeah, they have 2 Silver Edges, or they will have 2 Silver Edges between Tomato and Bryle, so Gunner's life is a lot more difficult now.
Indeed.
It does have the BKB. You cannot purge the Silver Edge break, though, with BKB.
Yeah.
It is unpurgeable. That is a basic dispel. So Gunner still has to be careful. There's going to be a lot of damage coming through from Bryle, too. Physical damage. He's got that Shredder talent now.
Yep. I think he had that for that last fight as well.
Yeah, problem is he just doesn't really have many damage items yet. This is the point where you see Snapfire start building into the crit type items, which of course he's getting.
Yep, so with that last fight that we're still talking about 5 minutes later, TSM have kind of opened this game up in their favor. 16k lead for them. And with the Aegis still online for another 2 minutes, the Shard was consumed by Tomato, so he didn't end up buying it for himself. A little greedy from him.
He's very greedy.
Moon Meander's dead. I mean, who would you have given it to, though? You don't want Ancient Creeps?
Oh, that was very close.
I mean, flamethrower would have been great.
Flamethrower's okay, but then, like, my thought process in this game, if you're a Timbersaw, is like, if you have an Alk plus a Snapfire at level 23 and you think you need to be the one doing damage, like, you're probably not running the numbers correctly, you know? Like, you probably don't need to be a damage healer on Timber. He just needs to go in, like, soak up some spells, and his Alk and his Snapfire will carry him. So I don't feel like the Flamethrower is all that good on him.
I think the Chen one would have been pretty good, though. You get the Ancient Creeps.
Sure, yeah, for like, split pushing and the buffs that you get from those, definitely.
And it's a Beastmaster that doesn't have Helm of Overlord, so it's not like he's messing with them at all, right?
Yeah, that's true. That can go both ways. Speaking of the Beastmaster, actually, the good news for Nouns in this game is that because they have the Beastmaster eggs and because they have Zeus, Bloodseeker, like all of these heroes are a very long-range poke. Defending these lanes from high ground is going to be very easy for them, and so split pushing. Like, Moo can just throw 2 axes at a wave, and it's going to die instantly. You can sit in the side lanes, push from super far away, so like Nouns can delay the game. And that's the thing with Alk. Like, a lot of people say Alk scales well, and I'd more say, like, he outpaces other heroes. I don't think he's actually that great in the late game. A lot of these other heroes, like we're talking about, the Snapfire will be doing probably more damage than the Alchemist. The way Alk outscales people is he just farms so much gold.
Yeah.
So if Nouns goes very late game, Alk doesn't matter. It just is not a problem. Packet loss.
Yeah, but with Braille being able to blink in, get the Scatterblast stun, and then just a full reign of terror with the little Shredder.
He's the scary one, for sure.
And he is only 1 level away from the ultimate power spike for him, which is the triple.
Yeah, and the range on that ability is just insane. Like, the 3x little Shredder multi-shot, it might be glitched or something, because I feel like I've seen that thing one-shot an entire screen of heroes and just get, like, an instant rampage.
Yep.
Something feels off about that talent.
It's very good.
Feels off in a good way if you're a Snapfire player.
Yep.
As Dubu, of course, is hydrating, as usual. Maintain such a high level of play, you have to be, of course, hydrated.
Oh, my boy Z-Freak.
Yeah, that's it?
Yep, my boy Z-Freak. He used to hate the way I used to say his name back in Han.
Really?
Yeah, I used to... I don't know why. For some reason, I just thought it was funny. You know, people are stupid and young.
Yeah.
That was me.
Like Z-Freak.
Yeah. And anytime I would cast him, he was an unknown player at the time, and I'd be like, Z-Freak! For literally every time I would say his name. No exaggeration. And he messaged me one day. He's like, I really hate him.
He messaged me, though. He's like, I still resent Sunspan for the pronunciation. It was a butchery. My great-grandfather was named Z-Freak, and he's butchering his honor.
Well, we got the overwhelming blink on Tomato, and he is getting close to... Actually, he is kind of capped out.
He's got to start feeding people's mags.
Yeah, it's time for some Aghanim Scepters. So,
yeah.
Obviously, the double Chakram is crazy. The one for Tiny's going to be pretty garbage this game.
Nah, dude, you go Chen, man. You get hard to spell global.
Yeah, that's good.
That means all of the Beastmaster Roar. You can take off the nasal goo. Oh, there's one.
Okay, we're going to see Husky with initiation, forcing back the Timbersaw. See if they can burst him down. The Hand of God keeping him alive. He gets off the Yule at the last moment. The Mortimer's Kisses, they're all grouped up, taking massive damage, but at the very least, Nouns does find the Timbersaw. And Dubu, able to TP out in the midst of things, and now Gunner, he has to be careful. He's going to get stunned up and broken thanks to the Silver Edge. Tomato's stuck inside the cogs now. You can see the axes being used from afar, but basically out of mana for Moo. And Gunner just gets the crap beat out of him by Tomato. Now they're just all fighting around this Nimbus. As Brow has the greatest counter for that. And Tomato getting yet another kill to his name.
There's just people being thrown in and out of cogs, and some guy flying over on a jetpack. Like, dude, this is crazy.
Wait, did he die?
No
way.
No. This is Dubu.
Way.
No, this is Dubu.
No way.
Dubu.
How do we... What?
Dubu?
What?
You're like rank 7. This guy's the best support in North America.
Oh, my God.
Oh, well, geez. I mean, that makes me feel better about myself. If rank 6 guy can kill himself to Rupture.
Wow. He must have thought he died.
Maybe. He just had so little faith in himself.
He's so used to dying in this game.
Exactly. He's been traumatized, Pavlovian dogged into killing himself. My God.
There we go. The Ags is coming next. Okay, so who do we have? Bryle's Ags will allow you to initiate for him right? You force the teammate to initiate.
Listen, I feel like there's already so many guys flying around in and out of these cogs.
Yeah.
You don't need more of that.
I think that's even more reason to go for it.
Give it to Duba. He's feeling so bad that he literally killed himself in the last fight. Like,
Yeah,
give him a little bit of a boost.
I mean, I do agree it's one of the two. It's definitely not Tiny. Not this game.
Tiny Ags, yeah, that sounds seems very...
Tiny
Let's see,
Ags
what
on
are-
a support
What are
Tiny.
his items? He's got that 4-staff Yule Scepter damage, yeah.
That's good.
That's big damage.
So you actually think the Holy or the Hand of Gaben one?
Oh, man.
Oh, poor Dubu.
Oh, God.
Ah, poor Dubu.
Yeah.
See, he must have been
He's
like watching the
He's
fight.
probably microing.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got some control group micro stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to see
And
the
this-
replay here on the in and out of cogs constantly.
I don't think the cogs in the first place felt that great. He gets thrown out and then back in.
It's like, get back in there, Tomato.
Yeah. It's like in wrestling, bouncing off of the ropes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good analogy.
That's what happened
That would be
here.
a great set for Clockwork.
He suplexed them.
That's a way for Valve to make a lot of money. Just partner with WWE.
Yeah, they love partnerships. They're
And
big
Clockwork is just a ring.
Dota fans.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize Tomato's he's godlike.
That's a pretty good voice line.
He is named Gunner, and it does say Gunna. So I think that's definitely good for him. I would imagine that's why he bought that.
Yeah, probably.
Yo, that's me.
Unfortunately for Nouns, they are losing this game pretty heftily now.
Yeah, a hefty loss going on, but yeah, they've got the ability to delay, and you know, the later and later the game goes, you know, 22K looks big, but a lot of that's going to be in consumed moon shards and Ags.
All right,
Some things that
you're
going to
go for Chen. I'm still thinking of the Ags, by the way. You're saying Chen. I'm saying Timber.
Okay.
Not Timber. Snapfire. Could be Timber, though, as well. Okay, we're going to see the initiation here. Is Brian, look at the damage coming out, but he's done with
He's fine,
the
too.
little shredder. Actually lived through that. 95 seconds of no Snapfire. Mr. Bryle caught all alone.
Yeah, that was he was trying to get just a cheeky quick kill there on Husky. Maybe some pub drama going on.
Okay, now he doesn't get the Ags because of that death.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. He falls down in the priority. But then again, Dubu did die to Rupture there. So
At least Timber saw that.
Yeah, give it to Saberlight. He's been after it's a tough lane.
Where are we going with this?
He's been keeping up.
I mean, double Chakram is extremely good.
Okay, who are we giving it to? It goes to Dubu.
It is Dubu.
It's Dubu.
All right, you were right. Congratulations.
Thank you. What's my prize?
So, I need to reread it. Is it just the hard to spell?
Yes. It is a global hard to spell on a 110-second
It says
cooldown.
to all allies. So, creeps.
Yes, but I don't think you're that concerned about the creeps getting primal roared. Yeah,
Well, they could get silenced.
that's
a
true.
Centaur
That's
Stomp?
true.
All right, we have a smoke up from now. This is a very important fight. The Rupture into the Nimbus. Moon Meander. He's in a lot of trouble. He's going to get hook shot, and the Cog's back. And he is dead.
But there's a gem on the deck, too.
That's true. That's going to be a nice pickup for Moo. And, I mean, the next Roshan, we won't know. We'll see how fast the spawn is. In 10 seconds, we'll know. And without Tiny for a full minute, if it's a quick respawn, Nouns could have found a way back into this game, potentially.
Let's see.
And... Oh!
Instant.
No way!
Wow.
No way!
That was literally instant.
Oh my goodness. And I bet TSM has this timed out, but they're like, there's no way they're in
No,
there.
what are the
They
chances?
scan it out. Roshan is going to drop us with the refresher shard.
Dude, they're probably so pissed.
Oh,
They're
man.
like, wait, did we mistime this? That was an instant spawn. All right, dude. Somebody spent a lot of Dota Plus points this weekend. I don't know. Gaben is absolutely smiling upon, and shining upon, because in all of his glory, upon Nouns.
Now, how much... So they have the Ags, or sorry, they have the, I mean, Ags would have been great instead of the refresher shard. You do have double roar. You can do the double Z-Freak stuff.
Or quadruple rupture you could do. Yeah, I think you'd probably give it to Bloodseeker.
I mean, does he have a BKB, I assume?
He's got double BKB, quadruple rupture.
Okay.
Let's see, who do they have it on right now? Beastmaster. They're gonna go for the double roar instead.
Okay.
Double BKB is on
Yeah,
on
he has
him
a
as
lot
well.
of stuff.
Yeah, and he's got a 9-second BKB, so...
And also refreshes the wild axes that have a 0 cooldown.
Yeah,
As we're going to see the Avatos for Moon Meander into the Scatter Blast. Okay, he finally pops that cheese with the BKB, and TSM, they're getting picked apart now. The roar from afar. They're going to be able to take out Brawl right off the bat, but Saberlight is getting saved by Tomato. Ends up chopping down one, but it looks like Kostabile is just doing so much damage now with that Blood Right and Blood Rage. That shard is doing work with that pure damage. Double kill for him, and the only member of TSM alive is Tomato. So this Roshan has really tilted the game now in Noun's favor, potentially, as they look to go high ground. Only one buyback available, but it is for Snapfire, so Bryle has the ability to get back into this game. Concoction.
They're missing the Chen hard dispel too. Like, genuinely, it's... At this point, these supports being dead is impactful as hell.
Yeah.
So they just sack the racks. They say it's not even worth buying back on Bryle, because if he does buy back, we're missing the supports. And they're very important. Like, even the Tiny, if you can separate the Bristle from the fight.
God, look at this damage.
They're
Look at this
straight
damage.
through, yeah.
So they could go... I mean, the waves aren't super pushed in right now.
They've got the one that matters, though. That's the top lane.
And they still have time. They still have time.
Yeah, okay. Now they're respecting the... They figured that Dubu did not have buyback, especially considering he just got his net worth boosted by that Ags.
Yeah.
So he did not have buyback. It's actually kind of funny. Like, maybe Dubu would have had buyback if he didn't have the Ags net worth. Let's see. What's his gold at right now? Yeah, he would have buyback if he did not have the Ags.
I mean, was that going to turn the tide, though?
Maybe. Maybe they buy back on Snapfire, but it's just...
So you'd have to buy back on both, then.
Yeah, it's just interesting to me that at this point in Dota, you see this big net worth lead, but because of a lot of factors, because of the Alchemist, because a lot of this net worth is in, you know, stuff that's potentially in the backpack.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, Bryle had buyback, but then suddenly he has no money now, and it's a full Satanic purchase.
Okay.
So they're going all in now.
Yeah, they want to win the next fight. I think the Satanic will be very important for him. I mean, in a lot of these fights, he's been able to sit there and get his right clicks off. It's just that he dies in the process. That's not going to happen in the 6 seconds that you're using that Satanic lifesteal. But it is risky. If he gets picked off and he doesn't get the Satanic off,
yeah,
they might just instantly lose.
Yeah, this is some risky business. Thunder God's Wrath just for vision. And... the Refresher Shard was surely used, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
As it looks like Moo is just going to go for the old-fashioned. He had a little taste of the Refresher Shard. He's like, let me just buy the item.
Yeah. Get the full version. He tried the demo out.
And it did work out quite well.
And we also have a Refresher on Kostabile. So that is going to be 4 Ruptures.
Wow.
2 BKBs, which is, as we saw in the last fight, the Ruptures are very impactful.
Yep.
Against these BKBs.
Gunner, I mean, his farm has kind of dropped off, I want to say. Since the last time we talked to him, it feels like 20 minutes. It's an AC. So it kind of cancels out the opposing AC, but he hasn't really had a huge item progression since then.
Has been killed.
That was a Courier Roar. So what did that drop?
Yeah, we got the hook shot in. Nimbus keeping them at bay. Kostabile is extremely low. Obviously still with the Aegis, though. They don't have to commit. Moon Meander getting force staffed. Still ruptured. More ruptures in. Dubu gets tossed back into the Nimbus, and he'll drop as a result. 50 seconds of no Chen. But they used a couple ruptures here. And now he does have buyback.
He does. He got tossed in, lost a bunch of net worth. Gets his buyback. Yeah, that's the ruptures are a very big problem for TSM. They're trying to force staff away from them. They're trying to kite with the Ghost Scepters. As we see Dubu getting tossed. He has had a rough game, I gotta say. This is gonna be some talks after this one, for sure.
Very unfortunate.
Giga Chad Dubu is not gonna be happy with the state of affairs. That's actually smoke out while Dubu is dead.
Yep, Husky. Oh, he's going to be found out. The jetpack gives them some distance, but that's too much damage. Picked off 70 seconds. Buyback's still available, though. I have a little PSA from our great Tsunami. Remember that Roche that we were so excited about, that respawn?
Yeah.
That was the normal timer. So it was just counting down for...
What? Really?
When it's gold... I mean, I wasn't thinking this at the time, but I obviously know this.
Oh, I see.
When it's the red one.
We're so fucking stupid. We're so bad at our jobs.
Why are we hired?
I don't know.
Oh, the rupture. Bryle doesn't get the initiation he wants, but Moomin gets the Avatos back into the... But Costa Bile is the one he tosses into Bryle, and Bryle drops. Saberlight. Oh, the TP actually gets canceled thanks to the Thunderbolt. Another roar comes in. I think Nouns are doing it. 3 dead, no buyback for TSM. The comeback is real for Nouns. Triple kill for Gunner. GG is called.
Holy shit. They did it.
What a game.
Just
Holy
like that,
crap.
It's over.
That is insane.
Yeah. Oh, there's the glasses.
Yeah, now they're happy.
There's the
they
glasses.
were pretty massively down in this game.
Yeah, they were.